We have someone special, and believe it or not, it's our first female to sit at the master table of food. Hey guys, I'm Sly, and welcome to another episode of Shot Once, where I get to meet with industry leaders, both wine and spirits. We get to taste fun, interesting foods, fun, intriguing foods, just delicious foods, and taste some good spirits and some good wine. Welcome, Andrea. Tell us what your title is, what you do, and a little bit about who you are.
I'm Andrea Card, Director of Winemaking at Francis Ford Coppola Winery in Geyserville in Sonoma County, California, where the winery is located in Alexander Valley, and it's a great job to have.
Okay, so you're the Jefe winemaker.
Yeah.
We'll put those two words together.
I mean, I have an amazing team that I work with, and I get to help them make good decisions and to make great wine. So
perfect.
Yeah.
Well, we have some really good food. So special. I even got to cook today. I got to cook some pasta with Alfredo sauce. So
nice.
We have some interesting food. So that was a one time. So I say before we kind of jump in, I say we choose one to do a little toast with, take a sip.
We have to cheers with Prosecco.
With Prosecco,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know that you said you're red wine, but
I love the bubbles.
Cheers.
So cheers. Thank you for coming. We do wine cocktails all the time in the cocktail world. And of course, with Aperol Spritz and different things, with Prosecco, we've just seen a boom. And those cocktails start at the top of the menu because it opens your palate, gets it ready for food, kind of cleanses, kind of sparks the appetite. Have I been selling it right? Is that right?
I think
with
so.
Prosecco?
Yeah, that sounds great. I love it. I mean, I think everything is better with bubbles.
Yeah.
So
great to have a glass before dinner as well as in a cocktail. So it's a great way to start. And that was so fabulous. So that is the
Diamond Collection.
The Diamond
Prosecco.
Collection. Okay.
Yeah. So our Diamond Collection is readily available at most areas in grocery store chains and select markets. And they're just meant to be a good entryway into wine.
Yeah.
Right? People get super nervous about wine and even about just opening champagne bottles or Prosecco bottles, sparkling bottles, and it's not that scary. So.
Yeah, unless they're pointing it at you. And
well, that part's scary.
And they're about, okay.
Yeah.
And
use a little towel, you're good to go.
A little towel over a sink just in case.
Yeah.
And don't shake it,
Yeah, no shaking.
Don't shake it
You
like
don't
a
want the
Polaroid.
bubbles to leave.
So here's a fun question. Have you ever sabered?
I have. And I'm going to tell you a little secret. I'm also a lumberjack. Well, a lumberjill.
Really?
Because I'm a girl.
You're a lumberjill?
Yeah. And so I haven't ever cut one with an axe, but I've definitely used a saber. So
has it been known to saber? Okay, so what for people that don't know what sabering is, how would you describe sabering?
Basically, you don't have to worry about the cork. You're just going to cut off the top.
The top of the...
So, yeah.
And it's an art. It's a skill.
It is, but anyone can do it.
Okay.
But again, you don't want to point it at anyone.
Right.
You don't want to be near children. You want to make sure that you're not doing it over to a swimming pool where the top of the bottle goes into the pool.
Yeah.
But there's a little weak spot, a little mold, like where the glass comes together.
Okay.
And there's a little weak spot there, and you just basically, all you have to do is tap it, and it should pop off.
Okay, so I've seen people do it, but I never knew the secret or how. I just figured they had like a special ninja.
Yeah, if you look at the bottle, there's always a seam somewhere that runs down the length of the bottle, and you can find it, and you just run the saber along that, and you can...
Really?
Yeah. And, and basically when it hits the top, it'll pop off.
I'm gonna have to
sometimes
try
they go wrong. It's okay.
I might have to try it. It's Mother's Day weekend, so
Yeah, you should definitely do it. Mother's Day.
Definitely for Mother's Day weekend, and what a perfect
give
time
everyone
for
a
bubbles,
show,
right? Give everyone a show. So with Prosecco, I'll let you kind of choose the first food, and we've got utensils.
Wow, this is refined.
Like so refined today.
Yes.
Usually I'm like giving people like their fingers with the wings, and we're so refined today.
Yeah.
So Prosecco, we'll start off good, because then we'll get into a little bit about, hey, what are some foods that might clash, and then we can kind of taste the differences. But we also want to showcase things that really bring out the food and the wine, like maybe a lemon pepper, a buffalo wing, like Sean suggested. But this is such a great training, because not only is it important to know sometimes spirits and wine can bring out flavors and nuances of food that we never would have really tasted, and vice versa. The food can bring out flavors and nuances in what we're drinking as well.
Yeah, and just really, they enhance each other,
yeah.
I feel like, especially wine and food. You know, people will take a sip of something and they're like, oh, that's interesting. And then I'm like, yeah, but can you imagine sitting down with like a super creamy cheese and like having that relationship, and they're like, oh, I see. So food can definitely enhance some of the flavors of the wine.
Well, we are gonna try little lemon pepper chicken. So we're starting off soft.
Yeah, this is soft.
Bones and wings sometimes, but we'll do one bite and we'll just kind of, and then we'll follow it with a little taste of Prosecco, and then let's. I love the citrus in that one. That's really good. I don't think I've ever had the lemon pepper.
Nor have I. It's much more lemony than I actually thought it would be.
It's like really lemony, isn't it?
It's good.
So it might be good with the Prosecco. Okay.
All of a sudden, there's like an elevation of like the citrus within the Prosecco. But also it kind of like tampers down some of the pepper.
That was actually really delightful. What inspired the transition from filmmaking into winemaking, and what was the first wine?
Francis really never transitioned, but he added wine into his like portfolio, let's say. In the 1970s, he and his family were living in San Francisco, and he wanted a place for them to kind of get away from the busy filmmaking life. So they bought a small, like a little cottage in the country in Napa, and it turned out to be a chateau. It was the old Inglenook property. He had grown up with his parents and his grandparents making wine in the basement of their apartment in Queens. So it had always been part of his life. They moved to the country in Napa, and they buy an estate that happens to be like one of the most famous in history in Napa.
Okay.
So his neighbors came to him and they were like, you have to make wine out of this fruit that you're growing. And he's like, well, okay. So he started making wine just for his friends and family and for the neighbors. And then he was like, oh wait, this is kind of going well. This tastes pretty good.
This could go somewhere.
Yeah, really, he had always thought it was part of his life, and it was part of his wife Eleanor's life growing up, and he wanted it to be a part of his children's lives as well.
I've never been to a vineyard before.
You have to come and visit.
What got you interested in wine? Like, what do people study? When, like, tell us that journey.
Mine was accidental.
Really?
Yeah, I grew up in Sonoma County, where the winery is. I was fourth generation. My great-grandparents grew grapes before Prohibition. But when Prohibition hit, the winery that they had, they stopped making wine and went into other types of farming. So everyone in my family had nothing to do with wine. I actually grew up on an apple orchard. I went away to college thinking I was going to be a pilot and all sorts of other things. I soon learned, I really love agriculture. I mean, it had always been in my veins, but I didn't know what part. So I got a degree in agricultural business, but I graduated and had no job, right? And you need,
because what do you do with agricultural business?
You need money to like have a farm.
Right.
And I was like, maybe I should go to work for someone else just until I figure it out. And so I went to work for a winery that was supposed to be a 3-month job, and it turned into 16 years.
Oh, wow.
And I left there a winemaker, and it was just fascinating. And we were farming sustainably and organically and biodynamically, and it was mind-blowing, all of the different ways that you could farm something, but then also what you were making in the end, and it was just intriguing.
So how would you describe the overall experience and atmosphere at the Coppola Winery?
It's meant to be a family place, right? So Francis really, he has his Inglenook property in Napa, and then he purchased our Sonoma County property in Geyserville, and he wanted it to be like a family fun place for everyone to go and enjoy wine, but also enjoy just activities and film and all of those things kind of together. And so he imagined it with a pool. So we have a swimming pool, we have 2 restaurants, we have a museum, and all of that kind of combined makes for this really fun place for people to go. And it's not just wine tasting. You can go there for lunch and you can spend, the day out on the terrace and enjoying the views. So it's meant to be a place where all sorts of different people can come together, and then we even have a place for children to play. There's bocce courts, and they can read books in the
parents
teepee.
Go have wine, and the kids are over here, so it's a little retreat for the parents, right?
And if you spend the day at the pool, it's amazing to me how many people bring their family.
It's social. It's a gathering. It's sipping and enjoying, and just with people you love around you. Still, when I go home, the first thing my dad says is, do you want some wine?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you don't need to ask me twice. So I'm assuming this is a Chardonnay and then the Savy B. So do you hate it when people call it Savy B?
You can call it whatever you want as long as you buy it and
As long as you buy it and drink it and like it, right? You can call
That's
it.
That's right. No, people love that term. I don't actually use it, but Sauvignon Blanc is like my favorite varietal probably.
So Pinot G, Savy B.
Actually Pinot G, that's actually a better name.
Yeah,
for
Pinot G, then Grigio.
Pinot Gris. I mean, it gets confusing.
Yeah.
Grigio, who knows? Just call it
Those
Pinot
are
G.
probably so misunderstood,
Love it.
which we'll get into in your blend with Shimmer
Yeah.
a little bit later down the road, because we'll focus on what's in front of us. But I can't wait to talk about Shimmer. So should we do?
Yeah, let's do Sauv Blanc.
Sauv Blanc.
Yeah,
Okay.
if that's okay.
Yeah.
Sauvignon Blanc is like the perfect Texas wine.
Like any day, all day, right?
Yes.
I mean,
I also think it's perfect anything wine.
Yeah.
Because it goes really well with so many different foods. I mean, and to go back, to Prosecco. Prosecco is such a versatile wine in terms of the fact that it has a little bit of sweetness. So it cuts like heat. It cuts fat. It cuts all sorts of different things. Those bubbles really create this like different feeling in your mouth.
Right.
And so can go with so many different things. So anyway.
Did you have steak with a Prosecco?
I would. I had Prosecco with steak actually
With
last
a nice
time I was in Texas.
Filet. Okay.
Yeah.
As much as people, like a misunderstanding is, Prosecco, like, and it's the same with spirits. They're like, oh, whiskey, we'll focus on in the fall. And oh, no, we're going to focus on vodka and gin in the lighter months. But there really is no seasonality because I would love, I've said this before, I would love to do an Apres with Savy B, where it's like a wintertime thing, because why could you not ski and have Sauvignon Blanc instead of, absolutely a good hearty red wine, but so many people associate wines with seasonality when it could really be evergreen and just year round.
I think so. I mean, I like to drink light whites in the winter to remind me that there's great times to come ahead. When it's gray and dark and cold, it's like, oh, a little sunshine in your life is always good.
Right.
So I like whites in the winter.
Well, a lot of people associate chocolate with wine, with red wine.
Yeah.
Should we do a creamy pasta?
Yes.
Like, should we do
the
a
creamy
pasta?
Would be great. Yes.
So is that, most people would say like a Chard or a light white wine with cream and pasta?
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, my favorite pairing with Sauvignon Blanc is, if you are thinking of it kind of seasonally, is fresh fruit on a salad with salmon is like my ultimate perfect pairing. Actually, at Rustic, our restaurant at Coppola, we have this seasonal salad, and right now it has strawberries and fresh greens, and you can order it with salmon on the side. And I was like, yes, this is my favorite salad. At home, I actually add fennel as well.
Yeah.
And it just adds this like extra layer of flavor, and with Sauvignon Blanc, I think it's delicious. So
I would think like maybe with the Chardonnays, a lot of people associate Chardonnay with a creamy, buttery type of mouthfeel. So we went from pasta to a little with some Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah, so we always like say, lots of people think that they need to be like with like. So Chardonnay with a creamy pasta makes sense, right? They're alike. But there's also a like and dislike, which is sometimes brings out even better like aromatics and flavors in the wine and gives more depth to the food. So a little grapefruit.
If we had a little grapefruit, I wonder, will it, bring out?
It could make the wine potentially sour.
I was about to say,
sometimes,
or,
I mean, grapefruit is pretty sour as it is and bitter. I do like it though.
Completely different taste profile than with the pasta.
In some ways, like dumbs down the wine, which that sounds weird, but it just makes it a little more mellow.
Right.
Whereas Sauvignon Blanc normally is stands high and kind of punches you in the face potentially, like grapefruit. And so they're very like. So it actually just makes the wine feel a little more mellow. Yeah. I don't know if I'd have like a quarter of a grapefruit, with a glass
at breakfast
of any type of wine. But some slices of grapefruit on a salad with like the oil and vinegar would be actually really delicious with Sauvignon Blanc. I would also, I'm pretty sure you said you haven't had Sour Patch Kids
I've never
before.
had a Sour Patch.
So I kind of think you need to have a red Sour Patch Kid
with
the Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay. Because you would know best. You're a pro. You love these
like them.
And you know your Savy B. Okay,
so I'm gonna go red too.
Red. Woo, that's sour. Okay, that's really sour, but that's good.
but it's sweet at the end.
When we talk about health conscious people and things like that, what's your kind of take on the trend of the industry and what are people saying?
For us, you know, we live as normal people as well, right? We're winemakers, but we also like have children and have families and have lots of responsibilities. And so I think for us, it's more of like a moderation thing, right? There's not very many things in my life that are a hard no or a hard yes.
Right.
And so why not kind of meet somewhere in the middle? Even myself, I have like rules for myself about drinking and when I drink and what I drink and how I drink it and all of that, right? So really it's moderation and what works for your body and what works for you and your family. But you know, we have new offerings that are low cal, low alcohol. And with those, we're just trying to offer people kind of some of that moderation that maybe they can't give themselves. Trying to give them an option. So if they are out at their pool with their children and they want something, so we have, you know, a Pinot Grigio Vibrance, we have a Sauvignon Blanc Vibrance, and both of those are relatively new to the market. And they're 8% alcohol, they're less than 80 calories every glass. And so you can have a glass of wine and feel like, okay, it's like a sessionable beer, right? You have it for lunch and you still feel like you can be super active and do all the things you need to do for the rest of the day. So those are fun and just give you kind of more of an option.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about the Chardonnay.
So this is our Diamond Collection California Chardonnay. This is the 2023, so our newest vintage. And yeah, it is a little more colored than Prosecco and Sauvignon Blanc. It naturally tends to be a little more yellow. And that's lots of sun exposure causes the color to actually change a little. And we want the sun exposure for Chardonnay. We want that creamy, rich, warm temperature, almost appealing wine. When I think about this wine, I think of like the package itself is orange and bright and vibrant. And I think of sunny California. Like every time I want someone to pick up this wine, I want them to think, this is a California Chardonnay. It's going to taste like sunny California. And so it's warm, but there's this brightness to it. There's good acid that runs through it. And there is oak, and it has gone through malolactic fermentation or secondary fermentation to give it that creaminess. But it's not so over the top that you're like, oh, now I need to take a little nap after taking a sip.
It's really good.
It's refreshing, and you want to be able to have a bite of, I don't know what on this plate, but
we see something staring in front of us. But, it has just great mouthfeel and like what is that, like vanilla? You know, some tropical fruits. And like I said, I'm a red wine drinker, but this is really enjoyable. It has the weight.
I think weight and texture, like it fills out actually your palate. With a Chardonnay, we want it to be like that longer finish, a little more satisfying. But we don't want it so long that you're like, oh, I don't need any more.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, we want people to take another sip. We want them to finish their whole glass. So we want it to be refreshing enough that they're taking another sip.
So with Chardonnay, what do you think?
I think we should do it.
Should we go all in with this one? So,
it's fun.
Okay, I get a little bit of heat on this one. It's a little salty, so.
Definitely salty.
Is that Cajun?
Cajun.
Okay.
I like the idea of it.
So the heat actually did make it burn a little bit more with the bubbles, but let's see what the little bit of Sauvy be.
I mean, there aren't many people having a glass of wine with their wings, but if you do, I feel like you know, maybe in the lighter region might be better.
So if you have an overly salty, what would you pair it with?
Why don't you try the Cab?
Yeah, well, you know, you had me at Cab. Let's see. Oh my God, so good. That's been one of my favorites.
Oh, good.
For years.
Nice.
The claret. I've done so many wine cocktails with claret.
I love it.
And it's always been my choice is the claret. So many different flavors, but there's also this dryness at the end.
Yes.
That helps, like when I do cocktails, that little bit of dryness. I always say, even with the espresso martini trend, what would you say are the flavors of the red wine?
For claret, we are going for dark fruit. Anything from blackberry to dark plum, those kinds of fruits with some mocha and cocoa in the finish and kind of in the mouth. So
why would you not use that in an espresso martini?
You totally could. Yeah.
You know,
I'm like, oh,
I know. So
fascinating.
these are so much fun because it's meant to educate on what is its application and what could it be? How can we do the last mile on what is its versatility? Because some wines are meant just to be enjoyed by the glass, and then some are like, you know what, it could make a good wine cocktail. How can wine fit into the spirit world? How can we cross collaborate? How can we cross merch? Right? With a good red wine, it could very much make a great espresso martini because the flavors that we're pulling out, it would complement each other. So I did a no-no, and you see this gold net. So I went and I did a knife and I just cut it. But there's a proper way. So
I saw it in the trash,
and
it like brought a little tear to my eye. And the only reason why it brings a tear to my eye is because this is extra work, right?
It has to be hand done.
Well, we have machines, so we're the only people in North America that we know of that have a machine that can put the netting on. And we have 2 netters on our bottling line, but it slows the process down, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
They do have to be hand packed into cases.
Okay.
So there's 3 people at the end of the line that have to hand pack these into every case. And we don't make just a couple of cases of this, so it's a lot. And so those people cry a little every time that this net gets cut off.
So I know, and it's one of those, like, I swear, this is one of my favorite wines.
Yeah.
I drink it all the time at home, and I honestly just cut it. So
I started working at Coppola, and I was like, so you want me to open this bottle? You're going to have to teach me how to do it because I don't understand. And when you think about Francis Ford Coppola, he's all about the aesthetic, right? And we as a company are all about how does it look? Is it functional and aesthetic?
Coming from the cinematic part of his world.
Yeah, you don't want to just take this off because then all of that goes to the wayside.
Okay.
So on the top of this bottle, there's a little rectangle. You can see the rectangle with the gold. I always say you want to slide the net either one side on the long side or the other. So you just want to slide it one way or the other. The thing is sometimes the bottle will tell you which way it wants to go.
Okay.
So if one is a little more open, like this side looks a little more open than this side. So then I just take it. I don't know if anyone's gonna be able to, let's see. And you take it and you just slide it to the side.
Okay.
Right? So it's off the top. You pull it down and you just twist. And then the net or its jewelry gets to stay on when you serve it on the table. So it still looks nice and still has the
I
netting.
bet you so many people
don't
even know that.
No one knows.
Because you see it, and sometimes you wonder, like, I wonder why they would do that. Because you assume it takes extra time, extra money.
Yeah.
So what's the why? What was the purpose of, is there a meaning behind it?
Yes. So Francis, when he bought his original winery, in the wine cellar, there was some bottles in there. There was a bottle that said claret on it. And apparently it had gold netting on it. He thought, well, I want to make this wine. It also had a diamond on it that was on its side. So he was like, I want to make claret. So he launched claret. Our first bottle was made, I believe, in the 90s. And, we turned the diamond upwards so it would be recognizable and then launched the diamond series. And with the netting, we wanted to differentiate the claret and have it be something that people saw on the shelf and they were like, I know that wine, right? And to this day, people I meet out in the market or anywhere, they're like, oh, I love that wine. Thank goodness it has the net because I would never be able to figure out what it was otherwise. Because they can't remember the name, they can't remember the brand, which I get. I can't remember hardly anything. So, when I go to the store and you're like, oh, there's the black and gold one with the net. This is the one I love. And so we're still trying to keep that tradition alive and it also looks like a gift, right?
Yeah,
you can give it to someone and it looks fancier than just...
Wine is a ritual, right? I mean, it's so different than spirit. And when you say, in the 90s, this came to be.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I grew up with that,
Yeah.
With this wine, and it's always been my go-to. And it's so great to see a winery or a brand you started off with when you started drinking, which was in the 90s for me.
Don't tell them, they're younger than that.
And then continue to see it evolve as consumer demand and taste profile.
The integrity, it's super recognizable. It's called claret and people are always like, what does that even mean?
Yeah, so what does it mean?
Right, so it's actually an English term for a Bordeaux blend. No one knows that.
No one knows
that.
that.
Right, because I guess apparently the British and the French I don't know, don't get along. You know, so claret, people were like, I don't even know what that means. And so it actually says Cabernet Sauvignon on the label. So that way consumers understand what it is. It had always been a Cabernet-based wine, and legally we were like, oh, we can make it Cabernet and still call it claret.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
it got to keep its name, which is awesome because it's very recognizable the way that it is. So.
Oh, nice. So the biggest myth that everyone says with red wine is never, ever, ever eat seafood with red wine.
Oh, let's do it.
So there's a little bit of tuna. Okay, there's shrimp. Okay,
I was
so
gonna
there's
have this shrimp.
You know what would be interesting is to try the shrimp that's
Then
just
the other
plain,
shrimp?
and then the grilled shrimp that
Agreed.
has more savory.
Yep. I mean, if
spices.
we're gonna try to make
That's
it
like, you know,
interesting,
that actually went.
it tastes good.
It tastes good.
So I think if you dipped it in the sauce that it comes with, you could potentially have some sort of controversy. Maybe.
Like the horseradish or
yeah.
the
Yeah, because that really like spicy could potentially interfere more, but the shrimp itself is delicious with that. It's like,
because I have had red with seafood and it's just this metal taste, but that was actually beautiful.
yeah, delicious.
Huh.
Yeah, and I
So-
think this may even be better.
Be even better, right?
Because of the herbs. It kind of it'll bring out some of like the more savory parts of the wine. It's pretty good.
good shrimp.
Yeah, the wine just like takes on
Yeah.
like more of a, I like to call it bramble. It's like if you were walking, maybe you've never done this, but walking through like blackberry bushes, you get this sweetness
It's on
from
my
the
to-do
ripe
list
fruit.
this weekend to walk through a
but
blackberry
Ten
forest.
cuidado. Be careful because they are like very sharp.
Okay, I'm sorry. go
But
ahead.
sorry, I grew up in a place where we had lots of blackberry bushes and we were, you know,
was
we
actually-
made blackberry stuff. So we spent a lot of time, and it's like this, it's actually more of an experience than a smell probably, but that's what I remember is like the green of the plant mixed with ripe fruit. Are we trying tuna?
Yeah, I was about to
could be.
say.
So this
and
is
see-
canned tuna, mind you. This is not like fresh ahi tuna.
Not that bad for a package. It's tuna.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's see if
tuna.
we get a metallic.
Claret, the wine to
I
go.
mean-
The wine to go with all seafood.
Let's try the Chardonnay.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Uh-oh. That looks a little darker.
Those wings look more intense. I think the tuna and the chard is pretty good too.
Yeah. Like I said, it has such great mouthfeel and just depth that it can hold its own.
Yeah. Try it with a Sauv Blanc. Tuna. The meat that goes
Tuna.
with everything. I think it's good with all of these wines.
It's actually, for those of us my age, we might know a little bit more what movies are
Yeah.
associated.
So Francis Ford Coppola is most well known for the Godfather trilogy. We have
did I not know that?
have the desk at the winery. So on display in our museum, you can come see the desk. You can't sit at it because no one can touch it because, you know, it's a museum.
Right.
And then Apocalypse Now, Outsiders. So there's some depth within his portfolio. And then most recently, Megalopolis,
I already love it. You know why?
because he made it.
Because my last name's Cosmopoulos.
Right? Love it.
Just saying.
Okay, so you should see it. We highly recommend that you have Prosecco, popcorn, and Megalopolis together.
Okay, so Prosecco and popcorn.
Yeah.
That actually would be now that I think about it, I'm like, oh my God, Prosecco and popcorn.
Because you have like the super like savory
Yeah.
saltiness of the popcorn, and then like the sweet bubbly brightness of the Prosecco go really
Oh my
well
God,
together.
that's a beautiful combination I
So-
never thought of.
Yeah.
Prosecco and popcorn.
You
Especially at a movie
You
theater.
might even be able to do truffle popcorn.
Oh, yeah, truffle popcorn's
I love
even
me
better.
some truffle
Yeah.
popcorn. My daughter actually, she's like, if you're making popcorn, don't make it unless it's truffle.
Truffle oil.
Okay.
You're
Sorry.
like,
Who
okay.
did I raise?
Should we dive in?
Yeah. So if we have claret with a spicy,
We'll assess the spice.
what wing is this?
Oh boy.
It doesn't even look like it's just regular like Nashville hot.
It almost looked like the
oh,
spice.
it's like it's intense.
It almost
it's
seems
not like
the,
hot wings.
The spice even ate through some of the wing. Like
Yeah, I'm a little scared. And it's gonna be all over my face.
definitely not date food, right?
Or video food.
Or video food.
Oh wow. Oh.
Well, we got something kicking
Oh,
now.
wow.
Okay, so out of all these,
Oh, I can feel it. It's hard
oh my God,
hard to stop it from coming out of my face.
your tan turned into a sunburn.
I'm definitely flushing now.
But it's
Oh,
not.
but the claret tastes so
It tastes
sweet.
really like.
Oh, my tongue is on fire. A little spoonful of ranch doesn't really cut the heat, but it does taste good. Oh my God.
In college, that was my meal.
Sean
Crackers
is a jerk.
and ranch. Sean's fired.
Sean, you're out of here. I will. The Chardonnay tastes nice and sweet right now too. Wow, if you like sweet wine, all of a sudden these came on like a new characteristic.
Actually, the Chardonnay kind of calmed it a little bit.
The Sauvignon Blanc isn't bad either.
I mean, oh my God, that's so, woo. Like, woo.
What is that wing called? Atomic?
Was it Atomic?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that existed.
Woo.
Oh, my nose is running.
Yeah, so why did you choose those 2 varietals?
Sauvignon Blanc is really hot in the market right now, and I feel like it's on trend and everyone's looking kind of towards Sauvignon Blanc. But Pinot Grigio is also one of like the most popular whites that's out there. It just capitalizes on the 2 being put together. Do you want to have a Sauvignon Blanc? Do you want to have a Pinot Grigio? Together, it's almost the best of 2 worlds. So you have the brightness and the freshness of the Sauvignon Blanc, and you have the more neutral, subdued Pinot Grigio that kind of helps bring back that like raciness of Sauvignon Blanc.
Which is great for sales reps to know, right?
Yeah.
Because that's going to be the #1 question. Consumers are looking for something different to drink.
Yeah.
And what's a little bit different? What can I find here at this restaurant that no one else has? Or, you know, even the at-home consumer.
Yeah.
Something that's just a little bit different.
With Pinot Grigio, it tends to be an older consumer, potentially at times. It's something that, you know, my grandmother, she loved Pinot Grigio.
Really?
It's
I would think Chardonnay.
I don't know, Pinot Grigio in like an Italian restaurant
Yeah.
is out the door. Everyone. Pinot Grigio,
Yeah.
because it's really easy to drink. It's very neutral. It
Yeah.
goes with lots
Yeah.
of different foods, whereas Chardonnay has more of a stylistic
You're
niche,
kind of more cornered
right?
with that.
Yeah. And so with like blending the Pinot Grigio with the brightness of the Sauv Blanc, I think it's delicious.
Yeah.
So the best thing about the shimmer is it actually says Sauvignon Blanc and Pinot Grigio on the label. So you don't have to guess what the white blend is, right? There's lots of white blends out there, but how do you know? Is it oaked? Is it not?
Right.
But when you're dealing with Pinot Grigio and Sauvignon Blanc, almost always you're gonna have no oak, no secondary fermentation, and it's gonna be bright and crisp. So.
Yeah. Here's one thing that people always say that might be a myth buster. Tannins cause headaches the next morning. Is that true?
Not that I know of.
Right?
Yeah. People also blame it on sulfites. People blame it on all sorts of different aspects of wine, and everybody's body is different, right? I love white wine. I feel my body is happier, brighter.
Yeah.
I feel more sociable.
Really?
When I drink red wine, I feel like I should be sitting on a couch in front of a fireplace.
With a book?
Yes, and maybe not talking to anyone, which is okay
Right.
and great, but I know that about myself.
Right.
So I don't drink lots of red wine when I'm out with lots of people, because that's not going to be when I'm my best self for others, right? I think when people are evaluating, oh, this does this, great. Write it down, keep track of what happens to your body when you do those things. That's the best part, is we make so many different wines that somebody can find something that works for them. And if tannins affect you, if that's what really you feel like is happening, then try something that has less tannin and see if you have that same experience.
Yeah. So we've been waiting to dig into this chocolate.
Oh, thank goodness.
So we'll do a bite and do it with red, with the claret. See, that turned into a completely different wine.
It did. It's way less sweet. When we had it with that fire atomic chicken, that was off the chart. It made it super sweet. Now it doesn't feel like that sweetness is the...
And there's not that dryness at the end. I mean, that's great together. So
it's good. So the interesting thing, I worked with a chocolatier.
Really?
She was a chocolate maker. And it was the most fascinating thing, because we were doing a class together and she was like, I just want to tell you, wine is so hard to pair with chocolate. And I was like, I haven't really thought about it, but I think you're right. And she's like, there's tannin in the wine, there's tannin in the chocolate, you get a buildup of tannin, and there's not enough sweetness. She's like, it's so difficult.
that is true.
It's fascinating. If you really want to spend some time with chocolate and wine, it is really fun. Like white chocolate, which isn't true chocolate, pairs really nicely with some white wines because it cuts, like the acid cuts some of like the richness
Right.
of the white chocolate. Milk chocolate is okay, but has a hard time standing up to a lot of the different wines.
Because it's a little bit sweeter.
Yeah.
Than like, let's say this one that's predominantly cacao that's
Right.
a little bit drier.
Right.
For baking or cooking and different things. I mean, I would eat that all day, every day. But,
Right.
but
And
I mean,
it
the
actually
wine-
goes really nicely with this wine, I think.
Yeah.
But it is fascinating when people are always like, oh, chocolate and wine. Well, not every chocolate and not every wine. It's kind of a fun experiment, actually. I have a fun thing that my winemaking team, we're gonna do a chocolate and wine tasting. And we're gonna pair what we think goes well together and then what truly goes well together at the end. So kind of a fun, but we're nerds when it comes to wine.
Right? Like,
And who doesn't want to drink and eat chocolate, so.
it went perfect. And
Yeah.
then Prosecco, I mean,
Everything goes with Prosecco, it's fine. I think dark chocolate probably spans them all. You get into the more milk chocolate or caramel with chocolate.
Right.
Or coconut, and
the
then all of a
sweeter
sudden
and
you're
different
really
flavors.
the raspberry, and you're like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I don't know, you get lost.
What future projects do y'all have in mind that
We
you guys
have
are trying?
a whole R&D department,
Okay.
actually, in winemaking, which is super fun for us because we get to try things, and they may be things that never come to market. But as a winemaker, we want experiments. We want things that, what if?
Yeah.
And
We tried this, it didn't work.
right,
why?
and people are like, why are you not making this? Well, because we tried it and it didn't
and
work.
it just didn't work.
And we do that with ingredients and all sorts of different things, but mostly with styles of wine. You know, right now our newest thing was the white blend, the Shimmer, the Sauv Blanc, and
Which
Pinot
is
Grigio.
pretty on the edge.
Not groundbreaking, but
But-
also super fun.
Yeah.
And great for us.
Yeah.
It's a challenge because it has to be one half Sauvignon Blanc and it has to be one half Pinot Grigio. Nothing else
Not
goes in it.
49.9.
I mean, there's a little wiggle worm, but there can't be any like Pinot Blanc or Chardonnay that happens to like pop up
Yeah.
in there. Like, it's very regimented. So we don't have anything in particular that's like on the next horizon, but with our low alc, low calorie wines, we did an experiment with Chardonnay, and it actually turned out pretty nicely. So if marketing wants us to do it, then we might try it. The Chardonnay, with the Vibrance Diamond Collection, we are trying to bring in fruit early instead of just picking at a normal time and de-alking the wine. We're actually just bringing it in early so we get less alcohol conversion, so the alcohol stays low. And so with the Chardonnay, we picked it early. We were unsure if it would be Chardonnay-like or not.
Right.
And it was great. So we're gonna do it again this year. We're gonna put it in some oak, see how it tastes, and maybe present it to the company.
And that's the thing is you won't have results in 3 days or a week. 'Cause
This
you
is
have
the
to-
problem.
That's the problem. You have to let it
Yes.
age, and you have to let
And we have to wait for every vintage. It's like we only get grapes once a year.
once a year, and
And-
then to put it in any type of aging aspect or
Yeah.
anything. But it's not like you can come up with ideas every week. It's like one idea could take a year
For sure, or more.
at least.
Yeah.
I mean, at least a year.
Yeah. When we're talking about red wines, it's normally 2 years. And people are like, can you make it tomorrow?
It's like, no,
Not today.
It's not possible. What is your message to everyone?
I would definitely say come and visit us. Come and have the experience. Come to the pool. Come have a meal. You don't have to have wine, or you can have wine. And if you do have wine, we have wines for everyone. We have wines that are low in alcohol. We have wines that are forceful. We have wines that are your everyday sipper. And we just enjoy catering to the customer and being a part of their lives. And we want you to have us be a part of your lives. So thank you.
Yeah, so cheers. It was so
Cheers.
great meeting you and having this conversation.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.